Good morning, and you are joining me here at Narita Terminal 1. Behind me is the Asiana Airlines check-in. So today I'll be flying the Asiana A380 in business class. I will be on the normal business class. I'll see whether I can upgrade to the business suite, which is on the first deck. And it's more of I guess a former first class product, but they have changed it to a business suite and they have reserved it for the premium fare. So hopefully they'll be able to upgrade me for like a small fee, but we will see how it goes. Let's go check in and find out. So upon checking in, I asked the agent whether I could upgrade to the business suite, but was told that the upgrade is only for those who purchase the full fare on Asiana Airlines. Since I have an award ticket on Air New Zealand, it wouldn't be possible. So I've just checked in for my flight because I've got some duty-free items that have liquid, so they say I have to check it in. So I have to shuffle my suitcase to move the liquid stuff into my checked luggage. They say apparently the customs, they don't check it, they only need a receipt. So hopefully that's the case, because the guides that I've been seeing, they say I need to carry it with me, but they told me that I can check it in. So I've got the lounge access to either United or ANA. I think ANA lounge might be the best of the two, so I think I'll check out the ANA lounge. But yeah, check-in was quick and easy, so let's head over to the lounge and check out what the ANA lounge is like. Business class passengers have access to the fast-track immigration lane, although it wasn't that busy, so I wouldn't think it would make too much of a difference. The signage was slightly confusing, so it did take me a minute to find where the fast-track immigration actually was at. You can read more about my duty-free experience on my website now, and a more detailed breakdown of this flight as well. If you want to support my work, you can do so at Patreons, where you can gain exclusive benefits such as early access to the videos and much more. Link is in the description below. And there it is, the A380 is just sitting over there. Alright, going through immigration was very quick. They didn't even want to look at my tax-free items, so who knows. But anyway, I'm heading up to the lounge now, which is over here, and I think that's the right way. I thought the escalator didn't work because it stopped, but yeah. It's very quiet here for some reason. Yeah, I'm not sure. Maybe it's not like a very busy period. But anyway, we are here. There are two lounges. That's the suite. Wait, is that the same thing? Oh no, that's a separate area. So this is the ANA lounge. I'll go in and check in. There are two buffet areas within the lounge, one by the entry and another towards the back. However, today only one was open, presumably due to the low traffic. The back of the lounge was very quiet and saw a couple of people using it as a sleeping area. There are some private booths hidden right at the end, and I could see more people using it as a sleeping booth as well. Right, I'm at the back of the lounge. It is very quiet here. The front is a lot busier. But yeah, there's no view over here apart from the terminal. There seems to be some sleeping area over there. So I think I'll stay away from that area. And I think I might settle down in one of this area over here. They say there is a shower and I'm very sweaty, so I might actually go get a shower as well. Let's go explore the lounge and see what they have in terms of like food offering and that sort of things. I booked a shower at the machine but didn't know what they meant by reception. Apparently it's the one right by the shower room, which was hidden behind the first class lounge, and I needed to be guided there by one of the cleaning staff at the lounge. Hello everyone, I'm at the ANA shower room. Just want to give you a quick tour because my flight is departing at 1:20, so I don't really have a lot of time. But yeah, so this is the entrance here. We've got a big fan and a bit of amenities here. We've got like slippers, brushes, toothbrush, towels, and then there's like shaving kit and the comb, which is up front at the reception. And then we have got a Dyson hair dryer, which I always love. I've got one at home and I love it. We have got some tissues, a sink, and a chair. And then back here we have got some hangers. And then obviously the toilet and the shower. And I'm really sweaty and I didn't bring a spare change of clothes, but anyway, at least if I have a shower, I'll still feel a little bit better. So I'm gonna go do that, and then yeah, I'll go and grab maybe a couple of bites. I've seen there's a noodle bar, but maybe not that. I'll just have the lighter snacks, and then yeah, let's see what they have on board. Hopefully it's a decent amount of food, given that I don't really have a lot of time to eat at the lounge anyway. I only have about 10 minutes to eat my meal, and boarding is going to start. And as you can see, I have a very light snack because yeah, we'll be boarding very shortly. But anyway, here is my view out towards the tarmac. We have got some ANAs over here. Given that this is the ANA lounge, I suppose it's normal to see all the ANAs in front of you. But yeah, anyway, I think it's time for me to leave and head over to the gate to board the Asiana A380. The gate was a bit of a distance from the lounge, so it did take about 10 minutes of a quick walk to get there. And as you can see, it's mostly empty, which was surprising given that travel restriction has been lifted for over a year now. The first impression I have of this cabin is that it looks dated. The cream color scheme doesn't make it look any better, and the age really shows when I look in detail after settling into the seat. The regular business class cabin is in a 1-to-1 configuration. Even though it wasn't the most private business class product out there, it is one of the comfiest I've ever experienced on a plane. Hello and welcome on board the Asiana Airlines A380. I've just settled on my seat over at 15A. So far, since there's a lot of storage room, but it does look a little bit worn out. I can't really tell about the service yet, but yeah, so far it's looking not too bad, but we'll see how it goes as time goes on. And yeah, let's explore a little bit more of this seat. The IFE system was very dated, which I will go further later in the video. Legroom was generous though, and I like the higher position of the seat when it goes flat. The IFE remote is easily accessible on the side with the seat controls right above it, and a very small storage under the armrest, which I have no clue what would fit in it. The tray table is located in front next to the IFE screen with a good range of motion to allow accessibility while dining. A safety card storage is right below it, and a coat hook is located beside it. The only amenity provided for this short flight is a pair of slippers, which I don't find of any use with this short duration. A pair of headphones and wet towel is also provided. There was no pre-departure service, but instead arrival cards were handed out during that time. So far the service has been okay. I wouldn't say it's like top notch. The crew came and introduced herself, and then she gave the arrival cards. So that's basically the pre-departure service that we have received, and there is no pre-departure beverage or any of that sort of stuff.
비상용 장비와 비상 탈출에 대해 안내 말씀드리겠습니다. Welcome aboard, ladies and gentlemen. We'd like to familiarize you with the emergency equipment and emergency evacuation of this aircraft. 휴대성물은 머리는 선반이나 앞좌석 밑에 보관해 주시기 바랍니다. All carry-on baggage should be stowed in the overhead bin or under the seat in front of you. 좌석 벨트는 양쪽 고리를 끼워 몸에 맞게 조이시고 풀 때는 뚜껑을 들어 당겨주십시오. 또한 비행 중 좌석 벨트 착용 표시 등이 켜져 있는 동안에는 좌석 벨트를 계속 착용해 주시기 바랍니다. To fasten the seat belt, insert the metal clip into the buckle and pull the loose.
We are currently airborne out of Tokyo, and it's insane how quiet the aircraft is. It's super quiet. I just had to check on my Apple Watch for the decibel level, and it's about 65 decibels, which is like probably an cruise or idle cross on other aircraft. But yeah, we are nicely climbing out, and it's quite hazy out there, so can't really see much after taking off. And just before takeoff, it was quite frantic. Frantic. I can't even say that word. But yeah, the crew were doing their checks, and then I believe the cabin manager was coming around to each of the passenger, just like thanking them for like flying Asiana, that sort of thing. She didn't say too much. it was just like a lot of like bowing and then like a quick couple of words and then she moved on to the next person. But yeah, I mean, service wise, it's I would say it's okay, but yeah, it's definitely not like top notch kind of service that I got from my previous flight with Qantas, for example. That one is like the prime example of like top notch service. So yeah, so far it's well, I would say it's above average for the service. Well, for the crew, not the service. But yeah, the cabin wise, well, I mean the hard product wise, the the seat is a little bit beaten up. You can see there are a few like imperfections. They are kind of worn out. Looks a little bit tired. There are like scratch marks, and yeah, there are like holes around. So yeah, condition wise, it's not looking like super good. And over here as well, like you can see, it's yeah, it's not the best condition. They just literally turned off the seatbelt sign and then now it's back on because it's very turbulent. So that's a weird one. That's the first time experiencing that. Oh, it's actually quite, yeah, it's quite turbulent. Yeah, not too sure why. It was just fine a couple of minutes ago and then just suddenly it just came out of nowhere. So yeah, I think they turned it off and then suddenly the turbulence come on, so they just have to turn back on. But let's talk about the amenities over here on the seat. We were given some wet tissues, a headphone, and then we have slippers as well, which is a bit weird for the 2-hour flight. I don't think we need slippers, but anyway, that's what we got. And then we have a reading light, headphone jack, and then a USB charger. Not too sure whether there is a plug. Oh yeah, there is. So on the bottom there is a international power plug, and then yeah, seat controls, IFV controls. The screen is actually quite far away, so definitely I'll have to use the controls. And it's I don't know if you can see, it's actually placed upside down, so I don't know what's up with that, because I mean, if you're like laying down or whatever, it's very weird, like you have to like take it out to use it. So we have just been given a menu for dining, and basically there are a couple of selections for the alcohol. There is champagne, there is white wine, red wine, but it's only one option, so it's not like you get a couple of different type of wines for red and then a couple for white. You only get one selection. And then for the non-alcoholic, like coffee, tea, it's not too bad. There are also spirits and liquor as well that you can choose. So that's okay, that's not too bad. And I'm trying to balance my camera on the side storage there. Hopefully it won't fall. But because I've pre-ordered a vegetarian meal, so I won't be getting, you know, whatever is on the menu. But they only have two options anyway. So there's a Western menu and then there's a Korean menu. So for the Western, you have the beef steak, and then for the Korean, you get the bibimbap or the bibimbap. I don't know what's the right way of saying it. But yeah, so those are the two options that you get for today's flight. But obviously I've got a special order meal, so I get a different a different meal. But yeah, for other people who are just having the regular meal, so those are the two options that they get for this flight. So yeah, so far it's looking not too bad, but I think it could be a little bit better in terms of options wise. But yeah, that's my comment for the food offering on board, and let's see what it is like when the meal is here. To be honest, I'm not quite sure what I was served, but there's rice, some sort of potato cake maybe, potentially some veggies or soy protein cooked in sauce. There's also a veggie wrap which I wasn't too big of a fan of, fruits, and a bun with jam. Overall, I would rate it as average, and I could still eat it if it's served, but I would prefer to have something else if possible. The variety for movies or TV shows available on the IFE system are fairly poor. There are some good shows in there, but I've already watched it, so it wasn't something that really interests me. There were probably more Korean shows in there than Western shows, but overall the selection isn't on par with some of the carriers, and the UI is bringing me back 2 decades. So this is the flatbed experience on the Asiana A380, and the first thing that I've noticed is actually how high this seat actually is. So if you have watched my review for the Malaysia Airlines and the Qantas Business Class, you would have seen how I was talking about the seat being very low when it goes flat. But over here, just by looking at the footrest, I could tell that it's actually positioned quite high up. So at this level, actually I feel a lot more comfortable, and without even a mattress, it feels like there is enough padding to be quite comfortable. Even without a pillow, like with the headrest, it still feels quite comfortable. And then the side, we have this like quite high cocoon, like a cocoon feeling, so it feels quite private, even though when you are sitting upright or in a relaxed position, like it's not as private, like you can basically see your neighbor. Probably like the middle row, because it's offset a little bit, so you won't be able to see their face, but on the windows on the other side, you will be able to see that passenger as well. So but yeah, if you are on a flat position, it's pretty private. It gives you at least a sense of privacy. So yeah, actually it's quite good. It's comfortable. They do provide blankets, but I didn't ask for it. It's not super cold, so I didn't feel like I need it. But yeah, it's quite a good seat, I would say.
I don't know whether this is because it's kind of like a A380 thing, or maybe a specific product, hard product that has a higher sitting or sleeping position. Yeah, I personally I do prefer this kind of sitting where it's like slightly higher up, instead of like the ones that kind of goes down, and it feels like you are almost like sleeping on the floor. Yeah, but yeah. Anyway, that's the flatbed experience here on the Asiana A380. It's yeah, very good. I like it. The footrest though might be a little bit tight. Like if I lift my foot up a little bit, like it hits the top, so it's not too, I guess, yeah, it's not too spacious inside. But yeah, I mean, if you are sleeping, it's I think it's okay.
Was probably one of the roughest landing I've experienced. The plane did a huge yaw right at touchdown, which I presume was due to the crosswind. While it didn't bother me since I enjoy some rough rides, it definitely wouldn't help anyone who may be a nervous flyer. Right towards the end was a military aircraft that seems decommissioned, which was an interesting sight. It kind of gave me the vibe of we are still at war, which was an unsettling vibe to have landing at a foreign soil.
Three days later.
I checked in at Seoul Station prior to getting on the train to the airport. It was quiet, and the only requirement was that I have to check in at least 3 hours prior and have to wait for the baggage to go through security before heading to the platform.
A very good morning here in Seoul Station. I'm currently at the express train bound for Incheon. As you can see, I'm waiting here at the platform. I've already checked in my bags at the check-in desk upstairs. And yeah, it was quite easy, there was no queue. It's pretty empty, but there was a baggage inspection and they were looking for my cans, so pressure cans like hairspray, deodorants.
The express train takes about 45 minutes and I reserve a solo seat right in front next to the baggage storage area. The rest of the seats are in a 2-2 configuration, which is not as private, so make sure to select this seat if you are traveling solo and make the reservation in advance. This Asiana lounge is fairly big, with a variety of different sitting arrangements. There is an open bar not far from the entrance, and towards the very end is the buffet. I eventually settled on the work desk area with a view towards the tarmac. There are a good variety of food, but they are mostly meat-based. I got a glass of juice and a bowl of congee. They also have cup noodles, which was interesting, but I guess that's a Korean delicacy. Welcome back to the A380. Today I'm sitting on the opposite side, so previously I was sitting on that side. Today I'm sitting on this side, and the seat is pretty much the same thing, so there's nothing new, and I'm not going to show you the seat again since it's going to be the same thing. But on today's flight I'll show you the food that I'll be getting departing from Seoul. And I'll show you the loo as well, because I have drank quite a bit of liquid in the lounge and I do need to go to the loo, so I will show you that after takeoff. But yeah, the seat condition on this side seems to be slightly better compared to the other side. But that's about it. Everything else is the same. I did put some storage on this side, so as you can see it's quite deep and I can fit a pretty big bag in there. I have bought a couple of like bread and that sort of things, so I'm taking that with me to Japan, and I can snack on it during my like 11-hour transit. Instead of having to buy food, I can just eat this. Maybe I'll have like a simple dinner before departure. Hello and welcome to the loo of the Asiana A380. It is actually very spacious in here. It's the first time that I don't feel very cramped inside a toilet. So just have a quick look. We have got the sink in here, and we have got a bit of an amenity kit, so some comb, mouthwash,
toothbrush, and I'm not sure what the one at the back is. And then I think the front is it's a lotion. Yeah, I can't really see it from this angle. Yeah, so we got a lotion, some sort of something at the back, toothbrush, toothpaste, mouthwash, comb. So yeah, that's not too bad. And then a nice big mirror over here. And then the best feature is the loo with a view looking right to the wing tip, which is very nice. And then yeah, the floor is very nicely done. It's quite clean, even though the loo is a little bit messy because there was someone else using it before me. And then we have got another mirror back here. This is a full-length mirror, so very nice. And then we have got a coat hook on the door, the standard stuff, and then a baby change table over here. So yeah, that's the loo inside the A380. I'm loving it. It is very spacious. Like I can stretch quite nicely over here. Yeah, it doesn't feel very cramped compared to like the other wide bodies, like the 787s and the other ones. I was able to access the front toilet just prior to landing as the back ones were occupied. This is way more spacious, and it makes sense given that Emirates could fit a shower in there. As with the previous flight, a menu was handed out and a Western or Korean option were given. Alright, my meal has just arrived and it is looking quite a big serving. For the mains, we have some sort of tomato base, probably eggplant, I would say, by the looks of it. And then I got a vegetarian bread or bun. And then a garlic bread as well. And then for the entree, I have no idea what that is, but I think those are maybe zucchinis, cherry tomatoes. Not too sure what those are, but could be Mediterranean or Middle Eastern kind of food. And then for the fruit platter, we have kiwi fruit, apple. Not too sure what the white stuff is. And then we have something else at the back that I can't really see. And then some grapes on top. And I got a glass of guava juice and some water. So that's the food for the breakfast. So let's dig in and see how it tastes. Okay, one very weird thing. They are serving rice, but there is no spoon. I mean, there is a small spoon, but I assume that's for like the tea, coffee kind of thing. And not for, it's not supposed to be for eating the rice. I know in the West, like that's how they do it. They use the fork. But it's kind of interesting that as a Asian airline, they also not provide any spoon for eating rice, which is kind of interesting. But anyway, let's have a taste test. And it's a little bit difficult.
One eternity later.
Even though the tomato sauce is quite plentiful, I still feel like it's missing a little bit of flavor. Yeah, I think they could have added something more, just to add a little bit more flavor. Given that we are, kind of a little bit higher in the altitude, so our taste buds is not as good. Alright, we are 50 minutes into the flight and tray has already been cleared. Yeah, service is very efficient over here. They started between about 25 to 30 minutes after takeoff, and then about 45 minutes after takeoff they already started clearing the trays. So in terms of like speed and everything, it's very efficient, very quick, and that's good because for such a short flight, if people are choosing to kind of eat and then want a bit of rest, they can still kind of do that. But yeah, I'll give you my final thoughts of Asiana Airlines. In terms of the crew, I think the service attitude is okay, it's above average, but it's not like top notch. So going from say 0 to 10, they are probably at about a 7.5 kind of thing. So there are definitely room for improvements. And then as for the hub product, it is very old. And there's one thing that I've just observed. So on the last flight, the IFE remote was turned upside down, but over here it's actually the right side up. So I'm not sure if it's something to do with maybe the left side being installed incorrectly, or maybe because that aircraft it's a different aircraft and they installed it incorrectly on that particular aircraft, which might be possible as well. So I don't know, it's a little bit quirky with how the seats are, but in terms of like comfort, it's quite good. There's a lot of padding, even though it's kind of old, it is very comfortable. And then for storage, there are quite a number of storage area. There's this kind of tabletop up here that you can put a couple of things. There's a mini storage just below the armrest, but I don't see a lot of useful things being put in here. And it's also a little bit dirty, so maybe it's only for like trash or that sort of thing. But of course, one good thing about the A380 is because it's so big, there's this huge extra storage on the side, where you can actually store say another bag, like a handbag or that sort of like a shopping bag. So that's very handy as well. Yeah, so far I think it is a pretty good flight overall. Flying with Asiana, I have received pretty good service, even though there are a couple of things that I think they could improve on, such as maybe offering some sort of pre-departure beverage, or changing the amenity so they provide sleepers. But I mean, for such a short flight, you don't need sleepers. Maybe they can like provide something else instead. But yeah, overall I am quite impressed and quite happy with Asiana Airlines. I think they are a good carrier to fly with, especially if you can find a good deal with the business class on the A380. I think it is quite a comfortable way to fly. Just don't expect too much when it comes to the hard product, given that the seat is very old, the in-flight entertainment is old, the movie TV selection is not very good. But say if you are on an overnight flight, this is probably one of a better product out there. It's comfortable to sleep in. You have very good padding on the seat, so I think you will get a very good night's sleep with this kind of seat. But privacy is definitely one thing that I think is a bit of a downfall here. So that is something to kind of consider as well. But yeah, that's my conclusion for Asiana Airlines. Definitely recommend it. Maybe not the full price, but if you can get some sort of an award ticket, or if they do a sale and it's kind of reasonable in comparison to other carriers, I don't think there's any harm, and I would definitely fly it again. So yeah, that's my final conclusion for Asiana Airlines, and I hope you have enjoyed this journey with me flying this bird. This is my third time flying the A380. It's the second time being my last flight to Incheon, and this is my third time flying back to Narita. If you enjoy the review of this Asiana A380, make sure to give me a like. That would be really helpful and very much appreciated. If you have not subscribed, please do that. I do post my travel vlogs for Japan and Korea. They will be on my playlist, so you can go check it out. If you want to support me, you can do so by subscribing to my Patreons, and you can get a couple of benefits as well. But if you cannot afford it, you can just subscribe, and that will still help me out a lot in the future. So, or you can do both. That's fine as well. But anyway, that is all for me. We have just started our descent into Narita. We have 47 minutes to go, so we should be there pretty shortly. Thank you so much for watching again, and I hope to see you all in the next video.